I became pregnant at the age of 17 as a result of rape. At the time I was living in a boarding house in central New South Wales, and I didn't know what to do, but all my friends and family and everybody wanted me to have an abortion, but I couldn't do that because the thought of taking a life, my unborn child's life, just horrified me to the core of my being. The night of her birth should have been the happiest time of my life. But unfortunately it didn't happen that way. I was whipped away into a private room and they put a sheet up as a tent to prevent me to seeing the birth. As soon as the baby was born, I didn't see her, they just whipped her straight away from me. And that I was put in a room on my own. I thought baby would come to me. No one would make eye contact with me, and they told me that I wasn't fit to be a mother, and my baby was going to be given to someone else who was fit to be her parent, who more deserving than I was to have my own baby. The whole time they wanted me to sign the papers to have Maggie, the baby at the time, adopted. And I refused because it was my baby. I didn't want to give her up. Every time they'd come at me and tell me how bad and evil I was, and then they'd bring the papers and I wouldn't sign them, they'd whip meals away from me. They finally won because they gave me a whole lot of hospital papers to sign, and I signed them all. And as soon as I signed them, they said, "Oh, she's ours now. You've signed her over." The next day I was shown the door of the home, and I left there and went home, empty-armed and broken-hearted. I met my husband, and then in 1980 we married, and in 82 we had a little boy. And while that was the most awesomest thing of my life, it was bittersweet because I never forgot the baby that was taken from me. I never forgot her. And having Russell brought all that back up again. And I got a phone call one day from my brother saying, "Did you have another baby?" And I thought, for him to ask that, he must know. So I said yes. And he said, in the Sunday paper today, he said, there's a person who's looking for her mother, and the details are, her name's Della from Dubbo, New South Wales area. I couldn't believe it. What if someone's playing a trick on me? So I made the phone contact, and they wouldn't give me any details, but I gave all my details. 2 days later, I spoke to her on the phone, and it took 4 phone calls to get one conversation. And then when I met her, I knew that was my baby. I just knew. A mother knows. A lot of people have said to me, how could you consider keeping a baby after you've been raped? But to me, it was my baby. There was no question of anything other than giving her life. Because to me, all life is precious. And I wanted her, regardless of how she came about. My life hasn't been easy. It's been hard at times. And I've done a lot of foolish things. And I have a lot of regrets in my life. But having Maggie was not one of those regrets.